we hope to have her back soon. But joining us again today, our guest co-host is an actress, a producer, and she's so lovely, the amazing Ryan Michelle Bethay. Ryan!
Hi, everyone. Yay! Hi. Hello, hello.
It's so great to have you back, Ryan. Why don't we kick it off with some girl chat, shall we?
We shall.
Yep, let's do it. Can I start? Ladies, listen to this. So, Vice recently reported that many inmates in prison across the country, they're making TikTok videos, and it's going viral. Videos show them dancing, doing food tutorials, or just hanging out. I mean, some people think that because, you know, phones are considered contraband, that they shouldn't be doing it, but others think it helps combat the stereotypes associated with incarceration. What do you think? Are you feeling the prisoners doing TikTok? What's up, guys? Let me know.
Wow. I mean, where do you... First of all, I didn't even know this was obviously I knew TikTok was a thing, but I didn't know you could do it from the jail.
I didn't either.
I didn't know that.
No, you're not supposed to be doing it.
That's what I would think. I would think it would be sort of like illegal. But on the other hand, you know, social media, TikTok, all of these things are ways that we as human beings connect now. And, you know, we don't take away their mail. So maybe there is something to be said for them being able to participate in this very human part of what it is, you know, to connect these days, you know?
Well, a lot of them are doing it because they're getting, they get money. They put their Cash App on their account and they're getting money, you know. So they put their Cash App on the front of their account, and people are sending them money. And a lot of these prisoners, I was looking at those accounts, they had like millions of followers on TikTok.
No.
So that's another reason why they're doing these. I don't think it's right. You in prison for a reason. I
don't think it's
you
right.
in prison to be partying, making dance videos. And shout out to all the prisoners, because the prisoners be watching us, Ryan. That's what you don't know.
I was wondering. I was going to ask you that question.
Yeah, they do. They send me
I was
letters.
going to ask you that question.
Yeah,
well,
I agree with you, Lonnie. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right, but hey, prisoners.
I don't think it's right, and I had to think of it this way. I would have such an issue if someone was in prison for doing something terrible to my family member, and then I'm seeing them here on TikTok having a good old time, making videos, getting money from Cash App. I would feel that that wasn't justice. I wouldn't feel that justice was served to... So again, I think obviously it depends on the crime. Because we do have people that sadly are in jail for selling weed, which is now legal in so many places where other people are being celebrated for it. These people are incarcerated for it. So that is a completely different thing. But specifically when you're talking about violent crimes or something like that, that's upsetting. Like, I can't imagine you having done something violent to a family member, killing someone in my family, and then I get to see you do a little song and a dance on TikTok. That would piss me off.
Yeah, no,
that's a good point. That's a good point.
And you know what the thing is maybe if there was some type of way to regulate it. The reason why they don't want them to have phones is because sometimes, depending on the crime, they're threatening people. They could be sending death threats, things like that. So that's the reason why they don't want them to have phones. But if there was some type of way, it is a luxury. But for non-violent drug offenders, I mean, come on. I mean, we could probably. But we would have to find a way to make it within the prison system and not, you know, like everywhere. It's a way that they could figure it out, but I just don't think that for everybody, especially violent offenses, it should not be any phones.
Sex offenders.
They need to crack down on it.
But
I don't want to see sex offenders
in prison anyway. Aren't they in separate like parts of the prison? Isn't there like you know, there's like jail and then there's jail, right? So maybe that's how they're not regulated.
Yeah.
And a lot of people are just awaiting their sentencing. They haven't even had trial yet. You know, that's the other part, is that there are a lot of people walking around who are out on bail because they have the money, and some people just end up in jail for a really long time. So it's a thorny issue. It's a very thorny
part.
Yeah.
Very thorny.
So
but don't send nobody
no
money. Don't send nobody no money. Don't send no money. Don't send no money.
Well,
How do you feel,
guys,
Ryan?
there is another controversial conversation that I have to bring up. Mary gospel singer and my girl Erica Campbell was preaching on the gram the other day, and she actually sparked a huge debate. And I want y'all to weigh in on this, okay? Erica, who's been married for 20 years, posted a message that said, "You can't sow hoe seeds and reap marriage benefits. Your brain and body don't switch like that. You got to prepare your mind for marriage because it's a ministry." Ladies, are you picking up on what Erica's preaching? And what are your thoughts?
Married ladies,
Well.
y'all can talk.
I think it's really, again, a double standard. A guy, gets to sow his wild oats. A guy gets to be a bachelor. Women, the minute we do it, we're labeled something negative. But, I feel like when you're dating, when you buy a car, you test out the car, you go for a test drive. So we may want to test a few people out to see who we want to end up with. Why does that make me a hoe if I want to do that? Not that I'm doing that.
I know plenty of hoes that are married.
Me too. I'm like, listen, I understand where she's coming from. And I too was raised in the church. So I understand the context and the backdrop and marriage being a ministry. I understand that. And this is no shade or knock against that. However, I also know that they're in the world. There are a lot of people I know who they got made into housewives real quick. And in fact, their husbands are like, I didn't marry you for your cooking. I didn't marry you because you do laundry. I didn't marry you.
Okay.
I didn't marry you for none of that. The house can be a mess, and they are just as happy as they want to be because they married that woman for what she provided them. And I say, let it. Some men want the woman who's going to, take care of the kids and be on the usher board and the deaconess and all those things, and that's wonderful too. But there are a lot of men out there who are like, no, I married a hoe because she a hoe. Let her be a hoe. Let her do what she's good at. She's good at being a hoe. Let her be a hoe.
Ow.
Right?
I
Hear that.
She a hoochie
Let me tell you, some might say
Let her be
that
a
them
hoe.
hoe seeds is how they got the marriage. You know what I'm saying? Like, some might say
Right.
that. But I also have to say, like Garcelle was saying, if it's one-sided, let me tell you, some of y'all husbands is hoes. So
Right.
I think
Yep.
that I think she actually may have been speaking to men. I think sometimes we just think the word hoe is specific to women.
Nah, she's talking
I
to
think
women.
she actually, and this is just my opinion, I
was
think she
talking
may
to
have been
women.
speaking about men who are sowing hoe seeds and then they get into marriage and they haven't really got their minds on recognizing, oh, you can't be doing that when you're in a marriage. Oh, you have to prepare your mind and your body for the idea that you are now just going to be with this one woman. And I think that a lot of people don't take the time to prepare themselves spiritually, emotionally, and mentally and physically for what that vow is that they're taking.
Yeah.
Now, you know what?
Yeah.
This is plain old, I love me some Erica. And I ain't talking about her. I'm talking about in general. Why is it that women love worrying about what other women are doing?
Woo.
They love putting on labels on another woman. If you got your man, if you dealing with your thing, why are you worrying about? I mean, I understand if you want to try to help give some advice, but the advice is so cruel. It's so judgmental to me, to sit back and you don't even know what these other women are going through. So to put a label on a woman because you consider her sexually free and maybe you're not, to me, that's wrong. And I think we as women have to stop doing it to ourselves. Men are not necessarily doing it. It's that we, or if they do it, we sit back and we validate it. So we have to stop labeling women, because they're like we keep saying, hoes they get married. I've seen, adult
too.
entertainers get married. So these so-called bad girls, they get married. The so-called bad girls, they working girls to me, and they hustle. Any woman that is independent and free of herself, she can get a man. She can get married. We need to stop being, judgmental on those women, because to me, that's not right. Worry about yourself, okay?
Yeah.
Now, this Thanksgiving is Thursday. Okay, and this year, because of COVID, many families are choosing to gather over Zoom, like we are, instead of around the kitchen table. And because of Zoom recently announced that they're going to lift the 40-minute meeting time limit on Thanksgiving, so y'all can fight more. Okay. Yeah. So what y'all think of Zoom doing this? They giving Thanksgiving. They lifting it up. So you can be with your loved ones.
Sweet.
I think
y'all like these Zoom meetings?
That's great.
I like it.
I'm so over these Zoom meetings.
I know, but at Thanksgiving, if you can't go see your family, maybe you're eating together at the same time, or maybe you're cooking while you're Zooming with your family members. I think it's actually kind of nice, and I think, it'll help people, because if you go past the 45 minutes, you can either rejoin, I think, or you can sign up where, you get a subscription for the whole year. And so it's probably expensive for a lot of people, but I think it's a great way of connecting. I'm over the Zoom too, but for Thanksgiving, it might be a great idea since we're not supposed to have big family gatherings.
Yeah.
I mean, at least you won't be able
just more of a FaceTime kind of gal.
Well, you know what?
How are you going to cook at FaceTime?
What's the difference? Between
Zoom, at least you can have it set.
One-on-one interaction. I think it's all the boxes that gets to be a lot for me. You can do a bunch of talking and stopping and telling everybody to mute themselves. The dog's barking in the background. I can't hear what Titi's saying. Like, it's a lot.
Well, what you do is you have one person that's over that'll be in charge of the Zoom. They the host. Of the Zoom host.
That's going to start a
just
whole
mute people.
thing.
I can't mute
Why do I got to be the one?
I can't be the one, right? I'm not going to be the one to mute
I don't want to be the one
my auntie. I can't mute my mother.
Do that.
And I have to mute my mother. She's terrible at Zooms. I'm like, Mom, stop. I can't do it.
That's why it's going to be
lonely. They have technical issues.
You would have to do it.
They don't know that there's a little button where you're supposed to raise your hand if you got something to say. It's a lot.
No, they're not doing it.
It's going to be great. But it's a good way.
So I say, do what you can.
Well, a lot of people have to isolate, so this is a good way for people to connect. And it's also a good way that you don't have to smell that drunk uncle's breath. That's a wonderful thing. So just be there.
And you can save on airfare. I mean, how come the airlines haven't been offering Thanksgiving discounts this whole time?
They don't want you to fly, Ryan. You're not supposed to fly.
Yes, you're not supposed to fly. Well, think of the money that you saved for not buying that $800 ticket back to the East Coast or back to the West Coast or wherever. You save that money and you pocket it and do something.
And when they start asking you nosy questions, you could just log off. That's it. When they say, when
or
you
can act like you're frozen.
Yeah, exactly. Yes.
You do this. You just do this. Did it close up? I'm not going.
Adrian, we have to practice our froze face. This is I like the thriller. I like the thriller version.
On the count of three, let's all just freeze. 1, 2, 3.